This episode of Historical Events is brought to you by Jax. Today we're going to be talking about how Princess Diana's death affected the world and the events leading up to it, so sit back and enjoy. This might be a little sad, depending on your perspective. And just as a disclaimer, I do not speak French. Diana Frances Spencer, born on July 1st, 1961, was a kindergarten teacher and a nanny for a private agency before meeting Prince, now King, Charles III. During her time being a princess, she changed the world in many ways, such as she worked for change and was an activist for homeless and disabled individuals and people with HIV and AIDS, especially children. She married Prince Charles III, therefore making her a princess and part of the royal family. As a princess, she accumulated a lot of fans and paparazzi because of the change that she was doing for the world. For that reason, they would follow her everywhere. Lady Diana and Prince Charles got married in the summer of 1981 and were married for 15 years. Diana Frances Spencer said, "In my immaturity, which was enormous, I thought he was very much in love with me, which he was, but he always had a sort of besotted look about him. Looking back at it, it wasn't the genuine sort," proving that their 15-year marriage was loveless and immature. When Prince Charles was set to get married, his family wanted a peculiar type of woman. The royal family wanted Charles to get married because he was 30, and they wanted a particular kind of girl. She needed to be young, she needed to be aristocratic, and she needed to be without a past. It was a very pragmatic decision. She was practically the only person who was left. He had so many girlfriends by then, said reporters. And Diana was a perfect fit for him. Reporters say that they only met 13 times in person before Charles proposed marriage, which might be the reason for their loveless, immature marriage. During their 15 years, they had 2 sons. In 1996, Prince Charles and Princess Diana got a divorce. The events leading up to Diana's death. The night of her death, Diana and her lover Dodi Fayed arrived at the Ritz Paris, a 5-star hotel located in Paris, France. Entering the hotel, they went through the back door to avoid paparazzi, which is an important part of the story. They leave for Fayed's personal residence and return to the Ritz around 9 p.m. This time, entering the establishment, they use the front entrance, getting the attention of paparazzi. They go to the restaurant in the lobby of the hotel. They order their meals, and Fayed grows a suspicion of paparazzi acting as patrons of the restaurant and requests their food to be delivered to their room. At around 12:20 a.m., Diana and Fayed leave the hotel through the back entrance again, trying to avoid paparazzi. The paparazzi knew that Diana was there because they entered the restaurant through the front entrance of the hotel. Why enter the front knowing the paparazzi would be there? They leave with Diana's bodyguard and get escorted to meet Ritz employee and driver Henry Paul, a black Mercedes leaving through the back entrance. The reasons of Princess Diana's death. There are many reasons Diana, Fayed, and their driver passed away in the car crash. The first and main reason would be the high-speed chase driver Henry Paul was trying to make due to the excessive amount of paparazzi attempting to take pictures of Princess Diana. Other reasons include Henry Paul's intoxication. Reporters say that he had at least 2 drinks not long before the accident. Paul was over the legal blood alcohol level, which is 5 grams over liters in Paris, and was said to have various drugs in his system. Also, no one except for Diana's bodyguard was wearing a seatbelt. For that reason, he lived, while Fayed, Paul, and Diana all passed away. Moments before the car crash, the bodyguard put on a seatbelt. Around 12:23 a.m., the car in which Princess Diana was traveling in hit a concrete pillar in the Pont de Alma tunnel. Dodi Fayed and Henry Paul both passed away on impact. Diana, on the other hand, was stabilized at the scene. She was conscious but agitated. She was given medication which caused heart complications to stable her. After the crash, she was transported to the hospital almost 2 hours after being stabilized. Diana's death could have been prevented if the emergency responders took her to the hospital for precautionary measures earlier. She died August 31st, 1997 at 4 in the morning in the hospital from heart complications due to the medication given to calm her down. The effects of her passing on the world. Following her death, laws were put into place to prevent paparazzi from invading people's privacy and causing situations such as this to happen to others of the same popularity and class. Even though Diana passed away in Paris, the law was passed in the United States because of the impact she had on the world. The laws prevented photographers from trespassing on private property to take unwanted pictures. Even though the law would not have helped Diana during the time of her car accident because it was on public land, the law was in recognition of the fact that people have the right to their privacy no matter population or class. Many laws were added on top of this. The first law, such as no paparazzi can take pictures on private or public land, photographers cannot make physical contact with the people they're trying to take photos of, and a law preventing photographers from driving recklessly in pursuit of a photo. Most say that these laws were put into place directly because of the devastating past of beloved Princess Diana. My sources include usatoday.com and nationalworld.com.